What up, people? It's your boy, Master Chudy, out here with another video, actually, sooner than I expected, because I just saw this, and I was like, I gotta say something about it, because I didn't get to give my full view on Tom King being removed from Batman, and the future of the Batman title going forward into DC. But anyway, let me begin like this. So basically, the title speaks for itself, that we're gonna have a Batman and Catwoman maxi series. And I see this as DC's way of saying that, look, we messed up with the wedding. We built it all up. We kind of made some subpar tie-ins with the Bat family for the wedding, only to build it up for it to kind of fall flat on its face. But anyway, let's get to it. So basically, DC fans can expect an exciting future as the publisher revealed early details on its strategy for 2020. So, DC is revealing its strategy. Here's what we want to do. Beginning stories featuring tight, intertwined narratives across DC's comic book lineup, leading this charge into the future as Batman, the world's greatest detective, and the cornerstone of the DC universe. Okay, so they're like, okay, Batman is our cornerstone, and we are going to ensure that he's treated with some respect. Hopefully. So next paragraph, we see that, beginning next year, January, DC's ongoing Batman book is basically going to be stopped from shipping twice a month to a monthly schedule. I see this as a good thing. Usually, when a book is shipped twice a week, twice a month, the writer's always going in, having to, I gotta think of a story now, But hopefully, with whatever new writer gets Batman, they'll have a month to prepare each story as opposed to coming up with multiple stories every month. So they're calming down with this. DC is kind of like saying, okay, here's how we can cut costs, but still try to put out a quality product, in my opinion. So, along with that, Batman is going to ship with a new 12-issue Batman Catwoman series. Tom King is going to be on it, while the Bat family titles Detective Comics, Catwoman, Nightwing, Batgirl, and others. Thank God for Red Hood, because you know how I am about my Red Hood. It's still going to be coming out. They're going to continue with 2020 with no immediate changes to their shipping schedules, which is what I like. So they've confirmed this, and this is what we're going to do. But the big thing is that Tom King is going to be on this maxi series, new 12-issue series. Now, I know what y'all thinking. Oh, man, DC's doing it again. They're going in, and they're rewarding Tom King with another book. Now, here's my thing. When Rebirth came out, Tom King was writing about Batman. And people liked Rebirth Batman. People liked the War on Jokes and Riddles. People liked the Button crossover. He can write good stories. I think, though, that he can't write stories for a long period of time. Eventually, he might just try things that might not work, and he just starts, no coherency. I think when you put him on a finite amount of issues, that's where he really does shine. That's where he really does his thing. I also feel like they put him on this Batman Catwoman thing, and maybe he asked for it too. He's like, look, man, I messed up on the wedding. And he kind of jokes about it, but he's like, yeah, I messed up. And there was an annual of Batman where he really wrote, the beautiful relationship of Selina and Bruce very well. I heard nothing but good things about that annual, the first annual. And he can write that relationship well. So I think this is his chance of saying that, you know what? I messed up. I'm going to do better. And DC's like, okay, but here we're going to give you 12 issues. We're not going to give you 100. We're not going to let you do what you want. We're not going to, give you the keys to the city. But we're going to give you a chance to reinvent yourself, improve yourself, and we'll see how it goes with that. So, DC's editor-in-chief, Bob Harras, is basically saying we're making changes to our comic book publishing line to set DC up for continued success. We are starting with the best-selling Batman comic after City of Bane wraps up in December. City of Bane is an incredible story and an integral part of our overall Year of the Villain campaign, and a new Tom King and Clanman Batcat series in 2020 fills the gap once Batman begins to ship monthly. Okay, so we're going to make this story to, fill in the gaps of what's happening in between Batman, as opposed to the bi-weekly thing, we're just going to make another book. So they pretty much talk about, the City of Bane, Tony S. Daniels doing the art, yada, yada, yada. City of Bane kicks off this July, and when After 3 years of being broken down by Bane, Bruce Wayne falls to his lowest point. Bane's minions have moved into Gotham City, taking control, ruling an iron fist, and Batman is nowhere to be found. Kind of like The Dark Knight Rises. I see what you did there. The Exercise anniversary is going to kick off, together with all the threads of the first 74 issues of Tom King's epic Batman run. So it seems that he wants to tie up all of his loose ends with 11 issues, and by December 2019, it'll conclude by Batman 85. I think this is good. I think now that he knows what he's going to do, that he's not going to be on this book for up to 100 issues. I think that he's going to pass on the reins up to 85, and that 2019 is his last hurrah. He's probably going to be like, you know what? I got to be motivated to write a good story. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I will start getting in reading Batman just to see how everything turns out. And, we see that Tom King's like this. Batman and Catwoman, which is the book he's doing, is a chance to do what Morrison and Quietly did in Batman and Robin. Launch an ambitious, accessible, beautiful, thrilling new series that concludes years of stories and defines what Batman is, can, and will be. This comic is about what the best Batman comics have all been about. How our greatest hero turns fear into bravery, pain and hope, trauma into love. It's a story I've always wanted to tell, and I'm telling you with the man I consider to be the greatest artist in comics, my brother Clayman. Now, we'll see about this, this is true, that Batman has turned his fear into bravery and his pain into hope and his trauma into love. His parents died, trauma into love of who he's adopted and all the Robins and everything like that. His pain being broken down by Bane into hope, and his fear from so I think that Tom King does understand Batman. It's all about executing it. I just hope that, he goes in and gives it his best, And then King says it's tough to leave Batman. I'm pretty sure it is, man. You're leaving an iconic character that you've gotten to write for a good 3 years now, since Rebirth. You've written Batman for 3 years, Not many people can say that in today's current comics of being like a staple, But, it's a gift and a joy to be on that book. But I'm leaving it to work on the biggest and most ambitious projects of my career. Comics I get to make with the best collaborators in comics. That's a gift and a joy too. I'm sure it is. So, Harris, the editor-in-chief, saying that we're excited to get fans more of what they love from DC with Joe Jones, continuing on Catwoman, a new creative team on Batman, plus titles like Detective Comics, Batgirl, Nightwing, Red Hood Outlaw, and Batman and the Outsiders are Gotham City Protectors, and the talent behind them will continue to offer great stories that cater to the tastes as many Bat fans as possible in 2020 and beyond. And of course, that. So this is not a bad cover, but what it looks like, Catwoman's kind of going back into her more traditional outfit. I mean, with the ears, or semi-traditional, I can't say. And this is by Clayman and Hi-Fi. But I like how that basically he's going in, shouting out all of the other, Bat books that say, you're still going to have them. We realize that they're still popular, and they're going to still be there. So I'm happy in that regard. I've had time to digest Tom King's being removed from the book. I understand what happened. Like I said, he started off very good. People liked the jokes and riddles war. And, people liked the build up to what was happening with Batman and Catwoman, the whole thing with Poison Ivy taking over people, the idea of Batman just fighting Batman, just going around trying to hopefully get married, thought he would settle down, the interactions between Talia al Ghul and Selina Kyle engaging in battle, and everything like that. But then the wedding came, and it disappointed a lot of people, and it put Tom King's writing prowess into question by many of the fans. And apparently, they expressed their displeasure. Batman fell under 100,000 sales, and DC was like, you know what? We can't have it. And we thank you. We thank you for your passion. We thank you for what you've done. But, we got books to sell. Your direction of Batman ain't vibing with the fans. And for all intents and purposes, King is like, you know what? Probably right. But I still like Batman. And I still feel I can offer something. So DC's probably like, you know what? Here's a 12-issue maxi series. Finite. You got 12 issues to write a good story. We're going to see how you go with that. We're going to let you finish your run. We're going to hand it off to a new team. That seems to be very good negotiating, which I dig. And I'm kind of interested to see where DC goes, but I like how DC is like, we're going to deliver story. We're trying to give you good stories. We want to give you good stories. We want to do this. We want to do that. Focused on the storytelling. Focused on the storytelling. We don't need, oh, Batman's going to have this, this, and that. We want to represent this, this, and that. No. When you have good stories, I have no doubt that the people who you're trying to represent will be written well. Tell it in your stories. Yeah, I'm well. Yeah. Yep. It's in the envelope. She said it's in there.
So you transferred that $1,100.
Yeah, but it's $100. Yeah. Oops, sorry about that. Had to phase out. But thank y'all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notifications. Make sure you're notified. Once again, I do these reviews or videos for you, the people. So we're going to discuss good comics. And stuff that's happening with comics. So I'm going to continue to watch this with interest. And who knows where it's going to go. But thank y'all, and peace out.